believe it. My name is Jennifer Cramer Lewis, and this is the Audacious Ask. And so what is the Audacious Ask, you ask yourself? Well, one of the things that I've noticed is that we've been so conditioned to ask for just enough to be able to pay our bills, or just enough opportunities, or just enough friends, or just enough lovers, or just enough of whatever it is that we would like to have in our lives. And we haven't actually been programmed to ask for way more than enough. And what would that be like if you could ask for way more of what it is that lights you up? What if you could have a business that lights you up? What if you could have a home that lights you up? What if you could have a lover or a husband or a wife or a girlfriend or a boyfriend that lights you up? What if your whole life could light you up? And that's what the Audacious Ask is about. One of the things that I noticed about myself is I'm always up-leveling my game. I'm always up-leveling my business. I'm always up-leveling my relationship with my partner, Tom. And, you know, I'm just so much more willing to ask for more than my fair share of what lights me up in the world. And so it was a natural fit for me to become a coach and a facilitator of this amazing stuff called Access Consciousness. And so if this is the first time you've ever heard of Access Consciousness, you can pop over to accessconsciousness.com and have a look around there. Access Consciousness is a facilitation medium, and then also includes the body. And so how many times have you tried to do something, you thought, oh my God, yeah, this is the best idea ever. And your body was like, oh, hell no, I'm not going to learn how to run a marathon. Or you decided that you were going to go and do this amazing business thing and your body got sick. So your body is along for the ride. And so what would it be like if you actually asked your body to contribute to your creations, contribute to why you're here on this planet? And so there's amazing artists who know, like ballerinas and even football players, who include the body and their body in the equation of their lives. And their body helps them make money, and their body is just absolutely amazing. And there's also people who are smart enough to ask their body to work in their business. And so who knows, we might end up talking about that today. And so we run for about an hour every Monday in Canada. And then also it becomes later in the day as you go across the globe. It might be Tuesday where you are. And we would love for you to join us live. And you can jump onto the link bit.ly/audaciously, capital A, audaciously. What's your Audacious Ask?
Well, I just love the two conversations you've just had, and I'm also creating like my Facebook business page, and I'm actually cleaning stuff up for the first time.
Yay.
And yeah, so wordsmith help, please. Oh, and I'm writing a book. So what would I like to ask for today? Business.
Ask the creations. No. Hey, this is a good question. So ask.
Yeah, totally. Because my book pinged as soon as I started talking about the website.
Yeah, I heard about the book too.
So let's talk about the book. And I don't know what the Audacious Ask is.
Well, you're gonna have to ask a question.
Correct. So what would it like to be? Because at the moment I have like 10 different chapters, and it's about different things that have happened and shown up in my life and where I am today. And it's a transformational book, an empowerment book, and also a book about choice and awareness. And I'm just starting to remember and recall all these different segments of like childhood, adult life, and then now, like after making lots of different choices. So my question is, yeah, what's it going to take for it just to be super easy to write it? Because it seems to be really scattered, and also I'm not quite, and you may tell me to let go of the control, but I'm not quite sure where it's sort of going, and should I be writing about that episode, or do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay, so the first thing that pops is there's this amazing, I can't even remember what it was called, but it's on Netflix right now, I think. And it's about this beautiful editor that worked with F. Scott Fitzgerald and then also Thomas Hardy. And so one of them, it was absolutely torture for him to like write one sentence. And then the other one, you know, like it was torture for him to cut down his stories.
Okay.
You know, so for you, what would it be like for it to be just magic to put the words on the paper?
Yeah, what would it be like? I'll have some of that. Okay.
Okay, so anything that doesn't allow that, will you destroy and uncreate it?
Yes.
Okay, good and bad, right and wrong, pod and poc, online, boys, shorts, and beyonds. So if you tapped into, so let's do sort of an energy ball.
Yep.
Okay? So just tap into the book as the whole, the book as completed. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Now see it on the shelves. Okay, now move it up a couple of rows. Slide it in behind number 1. Okay? Okay. Now see somebody coming over, picking it up off the shelf, flipping it over, looking at the back, reading your bio,
Mm-hmm.
and putting it in their basket.
Yeah.
Okay? Man or woman?
Woman.
Okay? How old is she?
40s, late 30s.
Okay? Okay? And where is she?
At the airport.
Cool. In what country?
Oh. Well, I got Australia or somewhere Western. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. And what was one of the things that you said in your bio or in your description that she was like, I really need to know this lady?
I get it gave her a sense of like, oh, this is interesting to know what this woman's life would have been like because it's so different to hers.
Okay. So and what's the invitation for transformation? What could she choose after she read your book?
I get it doesn't actually matter what culture you come from, what color you came from. We all actually have the same problems or issues or the same things that occur. And it doesn't really matter what color it is. It just seems that it's like more. Yeah, so initially it looks as though, oh my God, this is just about this culture and how terrible. And then as they sort of start to read, it's actually everyday stuff that we're making choices over. Even
Beautiful.
that thing like with the body, yeah, it may be like in Indian culture, you've got to have that sari body, or you want to look like the light skin color so you're accepted into these cultures. But actually it's no different to what Jane just said. It's actually just the judgments that create that. So there's actually no difference between your story and mine. It's just we all have this stuff go on. And what would it be like to have less judgment and know that you are always in choice?
Nice. Nice. And so fun thing is this is always recorded.
Yeah.
So you can go back. And what I would recommend when I work with people who are doing a lot of writing is, what if you could just like use Dragon Speak or, you know, I'm not getting paid by Dragon Speak. If only I was. You know, just dictate a lot of it out. There's tons of different platforms where you can have your dictation transcribed, and then you're not slowed down by, you know, the actual creation process of typing. You know, I mean, unless you're like a magician and you can type 200 words a minute. There's some sort of translation that's lost. Like there's this, you know, so many of our legends were songs or stories. And so the verbal, speaking out loud your story is healing for you. And then it's also healing the future of the people who are going to be able to choose your book and, you know, for them to have a look and go, wow, my life is actually quite parallel to that. And I can't wait to find out what she did next. Right? Yeah. So I harp on this for you every single time. Elegance, elegance, elegance. So make it easy on yourself. You know, get something like Dragon Speak and start dictating, or, you know, just dictate into one of those little MP3 recorders, and, you know, send it to like rev.com or one of those places. I'm not getting paid by rev.com either. Too bad. What would it take? And, you know, have them translate it. You know, they've people who can type, you know, 400 words an hour or something, or a minute. Cool. Yeah. Yeah. And, you know, I highly recommend you write a book. I highly recommend it.
It's really cool. Like even last night I was sitting having dinner, and I recalled, like, I was just going to get a guava juice, and then I recalled the first time I had a guava was when my granddad picked it up for me. And then there's this whole like 11-year-old who went through the streets of India, and everybody in the village knew me from like a you know, a foreigner coming to visit, and everyone was like, come into our homes. And me being, you know, brought up in England, didn't quite know how to say no to all these offers. And my mum was like, where have you been all day? And I said yes to everybody, saying, yes, I'll come and see you. And, you know, and I was just this person that wanted to like give everybody gifts. And we had like a lady who worked in the house who would make these beautiful meals. And my mum was giving out like clothes to people, like her relatives. And this lady was so sweet to me. So I went into my mom's suitcase and I pulled out the most beautiful outfit and I gave it to this girl. And my mom went absolutely ballistic with me, going, why did you give her like this outfit? And I was like, because she's so kind, Mom. Like, she sweeps the floors and she's like always asking me what food I want to eat. And I just think she's here every day at 4 and she makes the most beautiful food. And I really wanted to give her a gift, but it was inappropriate to give like a gift to somebody who was the hired help. And I had like no freaking clue.
Like, no point of view. You're like, she's the best person in the whole house.
That's right. And I gave her like the best outfit. It was like silk. It was like beautiful. I was like, she deserves the most beautiful outfit. And my mom was just like, annoyed with me. So there's even like layers of like who you're supposed to gift with, and all of this idea that we're so generous, but the generosity was only for the family and people who were, you know, going to recognize you, acknowledge you for that. So there's just all these little topsy-turvy, like mixed cultural sort of snippets of.
Yeah, well, that's super fun. That's super fun. Yeah. And, you know, with the globalism of, you know, what it is that we'd like to create on this planet, of, you know, people who really get where you're coming from, you know, to write a book about it, especially from the, you know, with some of the tools that, you know, I can just see it already. So get on it.
It's really exciting. Like, it's really exciting. And I even wrote like a chapter the other day about the abuse I was doing, like having, when I was married, like living with these in-laws who were just super abusive and horrible in this reality. And I get like there's all sorts of other energies. And then I would go to work and be second in charge of like the science department in a school of 1,800 people. Yeah. And then I'd go home and be like this, I better go put my outfit on, I better be quiet, I better not say anything. And then here I was empowered. It was like living this dual reality. And how many people live a dual reality? Whether it's like having a conversation with their friends, or being with their mothers, or being with their children. And you just, so it's not even that I was having a dual reality. It's just, we have these different hats where you turn into the submissive, or you turn into the empowered woman. So,
and a lot of people don't know how to consolidate and to show up who you are. I mean, not to blast people with your, you know, fabulousness, but if you do, then you know how to be 100% okay with that as well. It's like, okay, well, I can see I'm blasting you with my fabulousness. Oh, well.
That conversation of having the platform versus having the foundation, it's like you get to be you, even if you're being the energy of, I'm going to be the energy of submissive because it's just going to create greater right now, but I'm not the submissive.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. So it's a costume, not an identity. Yeah. cool. I love it. Well, I can't wait
Yeah.
to hear more.
Yeah, thank you. I'm
You're
excited.
welcome.
Yeah.
So how fun was that? So that, ladies and gentlemen, was the Audacious Ask. So what happens every week is, you know, who comes on gets a little bit of facilitation. There may be something that you want a little bit more facilitation or a lot bit more facilitation. And so you can find me on Facebook at Jennifer Cramer Lewis. And that's just Lewis and Cramer with a C. And I'll just put a link down here if you see this video afterwards. And yeah, I just want to invite you to include your body in the equation of your life, include money in the equation of your life, include business elegance, including like, hey, what do you do for a living? And you can just say, well, wow, this is what I do for a living and this is why I love it. And invite more people to enjoy what it is that you do for a living. My name is Jennifer Cramer Lewis, and that was the Audacious Ask. Hope to see you next week. Bye, guys.
Thank you.